He gave to you a golden ring. He made you happy, made you sing. And I played for you on my guitar. It didn't last long, we didn't go far. Though the times have changed, we've rearranged. Will the ties that bind remain the same? You came around, and after a while, everyone said I made you smile. It all went well, and suddenly then he heard that you would marry again. Though the times have changed, we've rearranged. Will the ties that bind remain the same? I know that I've been here before. I've trod on your wings, I've opened the door. If I gave to you a golden ring, would I make you happy? Would I make you sing? Though the times have changed, we've rearranged. Will the ties that bind remain the same? Though the times have changed, we've rearranged. Will the ties that bind remain the same?
Hey guys, great to see you. Welcome back to another lesson. Thank you very much indeed for joining me for this one. So what you heard there was a song called Golden Ring, and was originally taken from an album back in 1978 that Eric Clapton did called Backless. But the version that we're going to look at is taken from his most recent album, which is Lady in the Balcony. And if you haven't had a chance to have a listen to this record, I would definitely suggest that you do so. It's got some great tracks on it. Largely an acoustic album, although there are a few electric pieces on there. And this is one of the more simpler tunes, and so that's what we're going to be looking at today. But for anybody who's interested, I'm going to be covering quite a few of the tracks from the album. And if you're interested in that kind of thing, then you can just check the link down below to my Patreon page, and that's where you will find the additional tracks once I've done them. Okay, so let's make a start on this one. As I say, it's relatively straightforward, and it gives you the opportunity to try and develop your own style and your own voice and those type of things. First off, let's take a look at the chords that I used. All right, so we've got a G. It's in the key of G, right? So we've got this G, but unlike your standard G where you've just got that kind of, you know, second string open, as it were, we're going to do the G whereby we fret it on the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, right? So you're probably already familiar with that chord. So it's got a G chord, it's also got a C chord, but it's also got this C9 chord, which is this. So if you think of the G that we just looked at, right, where we've got these two strings on the bottom, like we were saying with that G, right, well, if you just take those two fingers from the G position and move them down a string, each of those kind of fingers, then you'll have this chord which is called the C add 9. And he uses that chord, you know, he kind of alternates between a C, standard C, and this C add 9. Okay. The other chord is a D, which I'm sure you're familiar with, and then we have an E minor, all right, and again he alternates the E minor with an E minor 7, which is this kind of shape. This is typically an E minor 7 as well, right, but he adds this little finger on the second string of the 3rd fret, okay, and plays that E minor 7, all right. So he alternates with the C between a standard C and a C add 9, and he does the same with the E minor. So it's like an E minor or an E minor 7. And that'll all become clear as we go through the lesson, right? Now, the other thing that we need to think about is the arrangement. And that's made up of 3 parts. So we have an intro, and the intro also doubles as like the section that you will have noticed where I'm going, Well, the intro chords are the same for that part and also for the solo part. And then we have the verse chords, and then we have the chorus chords. All right, so that's 3 sections that we're going to take a look at. So we know the chords. Now we're going to look at these sections and break those down. And then towards the end of the video, we'll look at some different techniques we can use on the right hand to kind of strum our way through the song. All right. Now, Eric Clapton plays this on a 12-string guitar, but I'm guessing most of you won't have a 12-string, so I've switched to the 6-string for this, so we can all play along with that. So let's make a start. Now, the intro chords start out with a G. In fact, he plays a kind of instrumental intro without any vocals, and he plays a G to the C add 9, back to the G. And he goes to the D, to this E minor 7, okay, the one we looked at. And don't worry, because the chords are up there as well. And then to this C. And occasionally what he'll do with this C add 9 is he will also leave off the little finger. Not very often, but just occasionally. He won't fret that bottom string, 3rd fret, and he'll just play that kind of C shape like so, right? And then he comes back to the G. So that whole intro section is G, C add 9, G, D, E minor 7, C, G. Now when we come to the verse, what we have is we have G, C add 9, G, D. Now, in the verses, feel free to really, you know, alternate between this E minor 7 or just an E minor, because that's exactly what he does, right? And if you're totally kind of interested in exactly what he does, then head over to my Patreon page where you will find the full chord arrangement as he plays it, all right? So, then we're on this E minor, then we go back to a C, and G. Kind of repeat that, okay? Now, because these parts are quick for us to cycle through, I want to do them a couple of times because it's important that you can hear as well as see what's going on. What I'd like you to do is just try and start hearing these things if you haven't already, because that really, really does help with your playing, all right? So one more time with this verse, we got G, C add 9, G, D, E minor 7 or E minor, C, G, G, C, G, D, E minor, C and G. So you see that time around I played a standard E minor and a standard C and a G. Okay, feel the freedom to place in there what you want to do, right? Nobody's going to kind of tell you off for doing that, all right? That's really important. which just leaves us with the chorus. All right, so let me kind of play the chorus and then talk you through exactly what's happening. So it actually starts on the G, right? But when the lyric comes in, it goes to the C straight away. So you see what I mean. I'm holding this G here, right? And then it goes, though the times have changed. So that's C and G. D, we've rearranged D and E minor. Well, the ties that bind, so that's C and G, remain the same. All right, D and G. So let's do that one more time. It's so quick. Though the times have changed, G, C, G, we've rearranged D minor. Will the ties that bind, C and G, remain the same, D and G. And that's your chorus. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play the intro with a verse and a chorus. So you'll have everything that you need to know about the song. And then you can practice each of those elements. And then I'll come back and show you a little bit about what's happening with the right hand. Alright? So let's give that a shot. Okay, so here goes the verse. G, C add 9, G, D, E minor 7, C add 9, G. Same again, G, C add 9, G, D, E minor 7, C add 9, G. Now we're into the chorus and we've got G, C, G, D, E minor, C, G, D, G. And then to finish with, we've got that or the intro bit or the solo bit, whatever you want to call it, it's all one and the same. That's G, C, G, D, E minor, C and G. So that's the whole arrangement. It's not a great deal to it, right? And I've chosen this one because I want you to feel some freedom about doing it. Don't get kind of caught up in all this up, down, down, up business, right? Now, Clapton, throughout the album, just seems to be using his fingers by and large, all right? Which is what I'm doing. I think it's got a real nice sound to it. But we're going to also take a quick look at the Plectrum side of things, all right? So let's just take a kind of verse as an example, right? And you can kind of take a look at this right hand. It's very, very free-flowing. So let's give that a go. I'm going to go real slow so you can get a feel for what's happening, okay? So it goes like this. Okay, so that's a verse. You can see there's just a freedom about the playing. Okay, now if we were to use a plectrum, all right, let me just play you a kind of verse with a plectrum and maybe a chorus too. So we've got... Though the times have changed, rearranged, will the ties that bind remain the same? So you can definitely do this, right? It's not a difficult piece. What you want to do is get really smooth with transitioning through those chords. That's the thing where you want to spend a little bit of time. Feel some freedom with what you're doing on the right hand. Make the song your own in a sense, okay? I think that's a really, really important point. And just try and enjoy it. And the more you enjoy these things, you know, the better they will come across as well. So just get the basics down, work through each of those sections. There are only 3, okay? You got the intro chords, the verse chords, and the chorus chords. And then do a little bit of work on the feel of the song. And, you know, before you know where you are, you will have this one down, all right? And please share your thoughts with me down below. It's always fantastic to hear from you and to know how you've got along with these lessons, all right? So thank you very much indeed for watching. And please click on the subscribe or the like if you haven't already, and or subscribe, you know, something like that would be fantastic. And if you're interested in the type of things I do, you can always check out my Patreon page. There's a link down below where I've got over 300 lessons there now, everything you'll need to become a fantastic player. So thanks again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you soon with another lesson. And in the meantime, you take care.